Hi, and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris, and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another podcast video. In today's video, we're going to have a look at some of the biggest and most interesting news articles surrounding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There is some really interesting stuff happening, and people need to be aware of it. And that is why I'm picking out these particular headlines, right? We're going to dig into them. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Don't forget to jump in the Discord. It's absolutely free. Link is in the description of the video. Over 6,000, I was about to say 4,000, over 6,400 people in the Discord, as part of that community, supporting one another, navigate the space safely. Definitely worth immersing yourself in the community. And don't forget, we've got our flash sale of up to 40% off on our courses. Go check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏.com and let's invest in ourselves as well. Right, let's get down to the desktop. So we're going to start here, and Sam Bankman-Fried seeks right to transfer FTX crypto. So this is an interesting one. Lawyers, or his lawyers, for the bankrupt crypto exchange founder, Sam, said that there was no evidence for restricting his access to crypto held by FTX as part of his bail conditions in this, get this, the word says it all, fraud trial. So look, I imagine there's some element or level of responsibility to the investors that already lost an awful lot of money, that crypto is those assets are kept safe. So I guess there are arguments being made, innocent until proven guilty, but at the same time, like, what do you do? I really believe that he should not have access, and I think that's the way it should go. I believe that he is as culpable, if not responsible. So look, it happened under his watch. I say the same about Gary Gensler at the SEC. This stuff all happened under his watch. He is culpable too. He's responsible too. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below. This stuff is just, it surprises me that, it happens. It's mad, absolutely mad. But let's move on. We got Genesis Capital's fall might transform crypto lending, not bury it. So TradeFi firms with expertise in risk management may soon fill the void left by bankrupt crypto lenders. And this is something that is really, really interesting. A fantastic article, definitely worth reading through. But, the nuts and the bolts of this article is pretty much that the individuals that have committed these frauds, and not utilized good risk management, which is basically ended with lots of these lending platforms going bankrupt, they're going to be taken over by people with the right expertise that have good risk management, and will ultimately fill that void and be successful in the future. So there's an element of some of these bad actors falling is not necessarily all bad. I think that we will see regulation. I think we will see individuals with the right acumen to be able to fill that void. I completely agree with what is being said here. But I do think that, there needs to be a framework for cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, from the regulators and the governments around the world. I think that the regulators themselves need to be held, accountable for their actions, or even lack of actions. And if they fail miserably, I think that there should be a severe consequence. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. But this stuff needs to change, and I do align with a lot of this. We've got White House blames Congress for failure to enact crypto regulations. 4 senior Biden officials penned a note Friday urging lawmakers to hasten their efforts to create a regulation, or regulatory, I should say, framework for cryptocurrency. And yeah, look, I think there's an awful lot of fingers being pointed, and not a lot of people, in senior positions taking accountability and responsibility for what is happening in the space. And that is something that needs to change. And that's where these consequences that I keep talking about need to be, put in place. And I think this is, right up to the very, very top. I really do believe that. We're not going to get the change that we're looking for unless, change is enforced. And, I think that there's an element of self-regulation, and I think we've got that in abundance in cryptocurrency. But, you still need to know what that framework is that you're going to be, held accountable to. Without that, it makes it very, very difficult, and you're going to basically allow these bad actors back into the space. So, these things won't change unless, change is implemented. So, look, want to see this all improve over the coming weeks and months. 𝗕𝗓 predicts exponential implications for anti-crypto traditional finance. Look, whilst we've seen this, pullback in the market, basically what 𝗕𝗓 is saying in a nutshell is that, if you don't start adopting cryptocurrency, traditional markets and players within that, then you're going to fall behind, and ultimately that's going to hurt your bottom line. And I agree to a point. I think there's players in the banking and traditional markets that are getting in, and they are going to be ahead of many others. But at the same time, there are others that are just anti-crypto and anti-blockchain, and they're going to really suffer and potentially go out of business. So if we have a look at here, it's all kind of based around these tweets from 𝗕𝗓. Impact of few failed crypto projects last year. Short term, they hampered the crypto industry growth, but we are seeing recovery already. Long term, though, and it goes to the second tweet, as they really hamper traditional finance players to adopt the technology, and will likely cause them to be further behind the adoption curve, which may have these big impacts, and it could be 10 to 20 years before those impacts are resolved. So yeah, look, rather interesting stuff. I guess, what are your thoughts around 𝗕𝗓's comments? I do align with them, but at the same time, I do think that there's banks around the world that are already prepared for implementation of CBDCs and rails from the CBDCs to blockchain technology. So I think work is happening in the background, and there are going to be banks and traditional finance companies that are too far behind and get left behind and ultimately fail. That Blockbusters kind of scenario where they didn't want to go to streaming, and ultimately that cost them their business. And I think we're going to see that in the next sort of phase of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology adoption. So people that perhaps at school or not completely finish their education and stuff like that, I would encourage those individuals to start learning code and blockchain and cryptocurrency stuff. I think that this will set you up for future success. It's just my opinion. Go do your research on it and see how much these devs, developers and entrepreneurs are making in crypto, right? It's definitely worth looking into, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions and questions and concerns around that. One that I wanted to end on was around ChatGPT. Apparently, it's learned that Bitcoin will end central banking and fiat currency. Rather interesting, very, very bullish. Do you believe that is what's going to happen? Now, I am going to link all of these articles in our Discord. It's definitely worth jumping into the Discord, have more meaningful conversations with us there. We'd love to see you there. If you are interested in becoming a member, we've got a technical analyst team. We've got project reviews, our buys, our sells, trade alerts, all that wonderful stuff on our Patreon. Link is in the description. Go check it out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.